Hi, my name is Sayed and this is my video interview assignment. For this assignment, I interviewed Sharon from Stephen Leacock Recreation Center. She wasn't comfy with getting her video recorded, so I only had to do an audio interview. Thank you. Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thanks.
So, would you like to give us a short introduction of yourself?
My name is Sharon. I'm 27 years old, and I'm the assistant manager at the Stephen Leacock Recreation Center.
So, since this interview is about the issues in the community, what are some of the issues that are on the rise in your community?
There are many issues that are circulating around my community. They range from the really negative side of the spectrum, such as drug usage and gangs, to a very pleasant side, such as community movie nights, local reptile shows, and local sport tournaments.
What specific issue do you feel most strongly about from the ones that you stated earlier? Why do you feel this way?
The issue I feel most strongly about obviously has to be drug abuse. It's something that grew so rapidly around my neighborhood and has influenced high school students really quickly.
Does this problem have a direct impact on you or on close friends and family?
Since the high school that I attended was located on a 5-minute walk from my house, I think the entire drug usage issue did have a direct impact on me and my friends and family. We all came from different parts of the world, and since there was so much diversity happening in such a small area amongst younger people, it opened up gates to a lot of negativity. There are many gangs and cliques located around our area, and most of the members attended my school. Being around people of that sort does have a direct impact on anyone that comes across them. They have a way of talking and convincing you to try out their product. It's sad, but many people in my school were exposed to that lifestyle so early in their life.
And you don't even realize the negative consequences of it?
Yeah, they really don't, because you're still in high school and all you have to do is do your homework and make sure that you're in class by 9 o'clock.
That's true. You mentioned how your school was located only 5 minutes away from your house, and that directly affected how drug usage influenced or had an impact on your family. Can you elaborate on that? How does this issue specifically influence your household?
You are in an elevator for 2 minutes with someone who smells really strongly of weed almost every day. You start to accept it unconsciously. It's almost like when you have no exposure to it, you think it's horrifying, and then you figure that you're surrounded by it, and it seeps into your mind and you grow accustomed to it. I think if that happens, a person will eventually try the product, and it is what happened to people who are regular users. So taking it back to how it affected my family, our elevator smelled of weed, and that's how my parents just shrugged it off.
So, since this problem seemed to be really apparent then, is it still really common right now?
It is.
What can you do to eliminate this issue? What factors are to be considered when doing this? Example, money, resources, workers, etc.?
So much a community can do to take their kids off of this downward spiral of life. If we grow enough awareness of this issue by making parents and the older generation aware of the negativity their children, siblings, and family members go through just by attending high school, I think it'll make a great difference. Principals and teachers need to grow stronger relationships with their students, and where they can mentor them and prove to be a trustworthy listener and not just someone who will gossip behind their back. As a community, I think the idea of rec centers and community movie nights and other fun activities that actively engage the younger population as alternatives, it's a good distraction and it helps. I think many of us resort to drugs and smoking because we're just bored.
So, creating awareness and engaging the older generation in this problem can potentially ease high schoolers from going into that way of life?
Yeah.
Was there a time when you were faced with a circumstance in where you had to deal with the issue firsthand?
Many times. Being in that environment all the time, you have to pick and choose what you do a lot. Going out for lunch and being around people that smell so strong constantly eventually makes you grow immune to it. You don't see it as something bad anymore. It's like, oh yeah, that's weed. And it becomes something normal because you're always hearing, seeing, talking about it. A lot of times people would bring out a cigarette and smoke right in front of you and offer you too. And you have so many eyes staring at you, and that implied peer pressure just takes you and you go for it.
High school is all about escaping peer pressure. It's when you are targeted a lot from various different things, good and bad. You have to choose between them and make sure that your decisions benefit you in the long run. I can imagine what it would be like to go through a choice of that sort.
That's true. Thank you.
You're welcome. I remember when I was in high school, my friends and I would oftentimes hang out at the park till late, and since most of my friends were older than me, they would smoke. And they would always force me into it since I was the only one there that wasn't a smoker. Peer pressure gets really hard when you are the only one standing on the opposing side. So, do you feel that this problem has the potential to grow into something that can directly affect the younger generation, high school kids in specific?
Well, it is affecting the high school population already. And since our school shares a building with a middle school, I think it will directly affect those kids too. Siblings do have a strong influence on younger siblings. If you see your brother or sister do something, be it good or bad, you kind of follow in their footsteps.
Thank you very much for your time, Sharon.
Thank you.